The minute the child gets that I can do it, child will begin to do it the best. Students should learn with the help of technology. Ma'am, next slide, please. So the focus should be on learning rather than testing. The sole motive is for students to become self-learners. Students, this is a very important point. I keep stressing this to my grade 9 and 10 students that, it is important that you become self-learners. No longer are you in a stage of life where you are told by your parents and teachers to do it. Why is it? I fail to understand. Why is it that your teachers have to motivate you, be after you to submit your homeworks? If you are a self-learner, your homework will be submitted without fail every single day. Children, please remember that. Okay, the deletion of topics, CBSE has reduced its syllabus by 30%, but it has not impacted the teaching learning process. Okay, emphasis on student learning through multidisciplinary activities and projects. So children, you have just completed your first multidisciplinary project. You will be learning more of them. You'll also be learning more joyful through art integration. We'll be integrating art with mathematics. Today you had the first orientation of the golden ratio. You'll be learning much more about it too. Parents to take the onus of guiding their children to learn. Address the challenges with positivity and spread positivity. Okay, we, parents, teachers, and all of us have to prepare children to face competencies so that they can compete with children from other countries as well. Right? We'll move on to the next slide, please. What are the guidelines for parents? Dear parents, please interact with your children on a regular basis. Understand their physical as well as mental well-being. Watch out if they have any signs of anxiety, depression, anger during digital learning. Check if your child is becoming secretive about his or her online activities. For example, if they're not talking to you, deleting the history of internet browser, please watch out for these signs. Combine online learning with offline play, games, and other activities so that there is balance between screen time and concrete playtime. Parents, you must ensure the involvement of your wards in physical activities like yoga and exercise during breaks from the digital learning, because they don't have time to go out and play. This is not the environment is not right because of COVID situations. So let them do some breathing exercises, some yoga, some meditation, and others. Yes. And we have these wonderful Sunday webinars where we are giving you all these things. Keep TV, laptops, computers in a common area. Parents, we definitely don't want children to be only in the confines of their bedrooms. We don't know what they are doing. Are they listening to their teacher? Are they switching it off? Are they playing online games? We are not too sure about it. So we want parents to be very watchful. We want you all to develop digital rules. After 9:30 in the night, please take away their phones or whatever time, 9:30, 10:30, but no way that the child will sleep with the device on the bed. Please ensure that, parents. Ma'am. Now discuss and inquire if the child is spending too much time Okay, predominantly in instant messengers like WhatsApp and others, forums like Facebook, Instagram, texting messages. Now, if aware, you please use your parental control to, and enable safe search in browsers while children are surfing the web. Okay. Ma'am, next slide, please. Now, this is the way to sit. I always tell children, because I see children bending and sitting, over a period of time, they will develop some health problems. So it is important that they sit with the right posture. They stand from time to time and they move also. That's the reason why they have been given 10-minute break, so that they stand, they move, they drink some water, they come back and sit down. Okay, right? Ma'am, the next slide. Yes. Now I would request my team. Okay, I'll start with Miss Pravalika, who takes English. They will tell you the mode of transaction in the classroom and the modes of assessment and so on. Over to you, Pravalika, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening to all the dignitaries, my colleagues, and my dear children and respected parents. Very happy to meet all of you through this orientation. As you're aware of my introduction, I would like, see, we also know that language is the light of the mind. Okay, so we have it's in our hand. How are we trying to make it bright? So the classroom transactions, as far as English is concerned, as you can see on the screen, the development of the language and the literature is done as follows. There are some of the examples of the PPTs, the slides which we will be using in the class. The knowledge of the literature will be developed as we will provide an opportunity to the children to understand about the author or the poet. This enriches the language by their knowledge of literature. And as part of our vocabulary building is concerned,
Pravalika, ma'am, please unmute and speak.
Pravalika, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry. So to develop the vocabulary of the children, we make the children to use the words, frame sentences on their own, which makes them remember the words as they will be using it practically. And definitely the way we are trying to utilize, the way we are trying to engage the children in building the vocabulary will be making them use it practically, which also helps them. And we are also trying to enhance the reading and comprehension skills by giving an opportunity to the children to do it manually and virtually. So the reason why we are like the virtual stories are being used to make sure that the children can comprehend well, and at the same time the accent pronunciations are enhanced. Reading is the only thing, as we all know, which makes us escape anywhere, and it helps us to think broad-mindedly, which gives wings to our thoughts. Yes, and thus a habit of reading is also encouraged. And then coming to the working with language, analysis of the previous knowledge on the topic is done, based on which the explanation will be molded to help the children to understand the concept very clearly. We are also using a great platform such as quizzes, the assessment for assessment, as the assessment is being done on daily basis, which is a playway method. As you are aware of quizzes, conducting quizzes is also boosting the competitive spirit in the children. Recently, like Lalitha ma'am was announcing about the integrated project, the project was assigned to the children, which was a chance for them to investigate things on their own. And it was an exquisite opportunity that has been utilized by most of our children to exhibit their knowledge. And also coming to the notes and homeworks, we are making sure that we are providing good amount of notes and homeworks for the children to engage them properly. And by this, we are making sure to facilitate the children with all the required teaching learning processes. The plans and implementations that are being used by the Department of English is surely striving to develop the listening, speaking, reading, and writing skills to make them perfectly ready for their future. And as all of these aspects put together, we have objectives that day's concepts, a recap of previous day's lessons, discussion, reading the lesson for conceptual clarity, and discussion of the difficult vocabulary and usage of the same in different contexts. And then we have key concepts explained, questions and answers discussed, and grammar concepts practice students makes to write important question answers in the classwork books. Assessments are done as I was announcing it on daily quiz basis, daily quiz, slip test, periodic assessment, and reading tests and summative assessments are conducted. And as we all know that there is a famous saying, we cannot clap using one hand, right? It should be a taking and giving process where children must also pay their attention to learn the knowledge which is being given by their teachers. Thank you, Lalitha ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Pravalika ma'am. Very well presented. And now I would request Kanakadurga Rao sir to make his presentation, please, on mathematics.
Thank
Over
you,
to
ma'am.
you, sir. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Good evening to one and all. First one, in the objectives of that day's concepts is going to revise the students. And second, recap of the previous day's concepts are going to teach the students. And third one, checking the previous day's homeworks and giving relevant feedback. That means if student has done any mistakes and everything will be given to the feedback to the students. And fourth one, key concepts of the today's lesson will be explained, including examples and problems workout, and we will discuss with the students. After this, we are going to give some extra questions from R.D. Sharma and CBSE exemplar problems also are going to send the students through Google Classroom. And assigning homework, taking remedial classes to the students who required. It is going on every day. And assessments, daily quizzes we are going to conducting to improve alternates among the students, and slip test, periodic test, and multidisciplinary projects. Multidisciplinary projects also done by the students very really well, especially grade 10 students and 9 students. There is a first one I was seen given by this Lalitha ma'am, and all the students are very actively participated in multidisciplinary projects. Okay, I want to thank congratulations to all the students and the team of our maths team and all the teachers, especially for Lalitha ma'am, and making us to do these are all things. Thank you, ma'am. And integration of art with maths is also going on, and again we are conducting some assessments. Thank you, ma'am. Over to the science.
So this in brief is how a math classes are conducted and what we are going to do in our math classes. Now we have our science and social science. I request Dinah ma'am, our headmistress, to talk about both the subjects together, put together. Over to you, Dinah ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, Chairman, sir, Director, Principal, ma'am, and the students and parents. Really, this is one of the good opportunity to all the students and parents to know about what is exactly happening in the classroom. We are trying to, communicate these are the things are happening, and your students, your children also, sharing with you. But, we wanted to share with you collectively in presence of all the parents and students and all the teachers. We wanted to present exactly what is happening in the classroom. So here it is when it comes to science and social studies. Here in the classroom, first, we will announce the objectives of the day's concepts. So with that, what happened, the child will be very clear what they're going to learn in that day for the day's class. The next one, the next level, we will, check the previous knowledge. So previous day's homework, and also, as the English teacher and mathematics teacher shared that, we will also give relevant feedback. So here it is. You might have seen that in the classroom, Google Classroom, when the children are posting the homeworks, the teachers, they are verifying, and also wherever the child is doing mistake, that mistake then and there, they are giving immediate feedback, as well as the next day's class, we are discussing with the students and also clarifying the doubts. Next one, we will recap the previous day's concepts. The topic, maybe it is lengthy topic, or the topic like, if it is a new topic, what they have learned in the previous class, that we will uh, recap the previous day's concepts. The next one, in the during the teaching in the classroom, first, the key concepts, what are the key concepts they are going to learn. So we are using PPTs, and also key concepts we are clearly mentioning, yes, these are the key concepts you need to learn. See, for example, social and science, some of the students, they will start writing, casually, or generally description they will start writing. But using key concepts, keywords are very important when they are presenting or when they are delivering the subject. So in that, in order to focus on those key concepts and keywords are stressed, and also those will be mentioned on the PPT, and relevant pictures we will put it, and it is very easily connecting the students to the concepts. Next one, during course of teaching, we will also make the students to read the textbook and also underline the keywords, and the children will be start underlining the important points. So with that, what happened, they will not miss any concept or any topic from the textbook. The next one, group discussions. See here, whenever the topic it is related to, students can discuss with the student, they will explore. When we give chance to the students to discuss in groups, they will share better than anyone else. So we also using this group discussions through the breakout rooms, and also we have also giving, like, making the students to go through the virtual tours and field trips. With this, child is connecting to the concept, and also they are understanding new things and new topics on daily basis. The next one, here it is application. During course of lesson, we are also posing application based questions, and also research oriented projects we are giving, and also we are assigning everyday homework. It is based on the homework schedule we are assigning the homework, and also every day after completion of lesson, the child need to read the lesson as a practice, reading the lesson, and making the students to making the points, important points underline. So this is one of the practice, the child will make a habit of reading the textbook and underlining the important points. The next one, we are conducting assessments, daily quiz. So the daily quiz, previously we did not that, but we have started from this 10 days daily quizzes we started. So this quiz, it is improving the alertness of the students. Some of the students, they are not attentive in the classroom, as ma'am was discussing. Parents also might be busy in their work, or else we were thinking, the parents, as a parent, they were thinking that yes, child is in the classroom, yes, they are very alert, but how much time they are spending in the class, or how much concept they are understanding, that is we were not able to measure it. Now we are using this daily quiz, end of the day, end of the period, every day 10 minutes. We are not giving many questions, only 10 questions we are giving, and that questions that day what teacher is explaining, that science and social we are conducting, the day's quiz, it is improving the alertness. Students also started asking questions. So with that, what happened, every Saturday these marks we are sending to the parents. And apart from this, periodic assessments, multidisciplinary projects integrating with the art, and here it is not only mathematics, here it is in the science, we have drawing skills, and that improving the drawing skills, that is we are integrating with the art classes. So here it is one period in a week, or in the chapter, during the chapter course time, one period we are allocating for drawing. Okay, so we'll improve the drawing skills. So this is during course of science and social studies, we are following these transactions in the classroom. Ma'am, now the next one, we have second language. Second language, Nishi ma'am is here. Nishi ma'am? Okay. So second language, previously, first June month and July month, we didn't include, means we had the second language, but we didn't give classes to the students. But now second language, Telugu and Hindi. So it is option we gave to the students. So half of the students, as per your choice, as per the registration, CBSE. So students, the teachers started taking the classes for second language. So in the second language, the same time, the both teachers are taking with the different links to the class. So here it is, the second language teachers also will clearly explain the objective of the day's concept and also recap of the previous day's lesson, and also reading the lesson for conceptual clarity, and teacher is reading out the lesson and also making the students to listen. And also in case of Telugu and Hindi, teachers, they started some of the poems, they started reciting, and also they are making the students to understand. And here underlining the key concepts and, interacting with, they started asking questions, and also students also answering their questions. So here grammar concepts and also practice students made them to write the important questions. So here it is, grammar topics also teachers started explaining, and also in the class itself, some of the concepts, grammar concepts, making them to write it in their notebook. So question answers also teachers started explaining, and also related material they are posting through the Google Classroom, and also they are communicating through the MCB with the PDFs. Assessments, daily quiz, flip test, and periodic assessment. And here it is language improvement, reading test they are conducting. So this is about the second language. Next one, we have here communication through the MCB and Google Classroom. So here we are communicating to the students on daily basis.
Ma'am, would you like to ask Subhi sir to present this? Subhi?
Yes.
Definitely, why not?
Yes, your tech is.
Yes.
Thank you.
Dina ma'am, thank you. Very well
Thank you.
presented, Dina ma'am. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dana. Well done.
Thank you, Diana ma'am. And see, as far as the communication to parents are concerned, I think we are very, very well connected, with the kind of the technologies that we are using in our school. So whatever is the latest and greatest ones that we have right now in the, available right outside, that we got in for our school, right? So with MCB, my class board, it is, not only communication, entire the school management system is being done using my class board, right? So right from the inquiry to admission to, and then allotting to a section, and then marks, and then progress cards, and then sending messages, and announcement, automatic alert would come to the parent right on their phone, right? We don't have to even open the app and all that. The way how we get in WhatsApp, similarly you get alerts using Rockwods International School app. So in case if you have not installed that app, get it installed on your phones, get in touch with PRMs, and they would be able to help you, right? And second thing is, as far as the learning is concerned, we have Google Classroom,
Subhi,
which
sorry
is
to interrupt you, Subhi.
I'm sorry.
Sorry to interrupt you. Spotlight yourself.
All right. Diana ma'am.
Spotlight, Subhi sir, please.
Yes. You can switch it off automatically. It will come on to the person who is talking. And as far as the learning driven is concerned, so we have a Google Classroom wherein where all the homework assignment perspective, and then correcting those homeworks and awarding the marks for that, and then also doing a quick announcements and all that, right? um, as a parent, if you are really wanted to understand how child is submitting the homework and all that you have to do is just get into the Google Classroom once, and you can just look at graded something like that. You'll find the entire snapshot of what homeworks are assigned by the teacher to your ward, and what are the marks given by the teacher, and if your child has not submitted, it would be marked as a missing, and all that. And it is pretty much where as a teacher, like we used to collect the books, and where we used to put tick marks or cross marks if there are any mistakes, and put nice marks and all that. You'll find pretty similar thing in the Google Classroom, in one screen, where you will see all the homeworks, and what is the status, with the child submitted, not submitted, and marks and all of that, right? One other very beautiful thing with Google Classroom is, as and when teacher is allotting the work to the students, right, every child would get an individual alert mail, right? Alert will come in the Google Classroom app, and mails also would come, and automated reminders will come. And when teacher is correcting, then at that time also you'll get automated mail and alert, right? It's pretty routine, and everything is automated, very, very easy to understand what is going on, and how child is involved and all that. Very, very, very good thing, right? Apart from these two, we also have licenses from Microsoft perspective, where whether it's a PPT that we are talking, Word document that we are talking, and all that, we have not released. But looking at the child involvement in the multidisciplinary project and all that, I think we are willing to have that released as well to the students, so that they can exhibit their skills much larger extent and all that, right? So these are few things as far as the Google Classroom and My Class board, and Rockwods International School app is concerned. Over to you, Diana ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Sir, here are the some. Okay, this is one of the important thing. It is types of assessments. So this types of assessment. So here it is, on regular basis we have oral assessments, on the team quizzes. So here it is oral assessment. It is happening in the classroom, and also we are also conducting some quizzes. You have seen recently, it is on Independence Day, we have conducted one team quiz. We have taken the topic of Independence Day concept or that theme. So going forward, we will have team quizzes, many more. But here it is, oral assessments are one of the important thing. Most of the children came forward and they were asking, ma'am, can you give chance for the next event? And in the classroom also they started that, yes, ma'am, can we conduct this kind, can you conduct this kind of assessment? So this is one of the important assessment we wanted to, increase the number of quizzes going forward. Next one, peer assessments and self-assessments. And here it is, parent assessments are there, but as of now, parent assessments are not there. But in next couple of months, next month we wanted to start this parent assessments too. And next one, activity-based assessments and portfolio network, notebook practical records, LSRW. Here for 9th and 10th classes, portfolios, we are going to make the students to do it, and also record practical records. The children will be doing the practicals, and also that records will be noted in the practical records. And even languages, LSRW, also we are going to maintain the portfolios. Those assessments will be recorded for the CBSE board exam. Next one, periodic test. These periodic tests we will conduct in the school, as well as average of these marks, and these assessments of average will be recorded, and this will be added in the internal marks. Yes, thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Over
Thank
to
you,
you,
Diana ma'am, and thank you all the
Okay.
teachers. Very well presented by each one of you. Dear parents, I would just like to quickly, tell you all a few things. One is that, the students have got, you know, see, in my record of 25 years, I have sent out 25 batches of grade 10 students. Okay. And as a track record, I have never got anything less than 100% passes. So that's something that I will assure you all. But, it is very, very important that you understand the schema of assessment. Now, according to CBSE, the child will be assessed for 100%, but out of which 20% of the marks will be assessed and given by the school. Okay, now this 20% which the school is going to give is divided in the following way. 5 marks are for their notebooks. Okay, now in this case, it is the homeworks which will play a primary role. That is one of the reasons why we are insisting so much that students should submit their homeworks, timely submission of homework. Okay, every homework, if you know, it is getting into the marking schema. Okay, so it is important that the student, attempts every single homework. The second is the subject enrichment activities. Under subject enrichment activities will be all this. In English, reading tests will be conducted. Assessment of listening and speaking activity will be conducted. Okay, and in science, right now, it is the virtual labs. So based on the virtual labs, the students' records will be assessed. In social science, their skills like their map pointing or their flow charts or mind maps and others will be assessed. So it is very important. Student is in sync. I don't want any grade 10 or 9 student to miss their classes even for a single day. If the child has missed, kindly inform your class teacher so that we are aware why the child has missed. It should not happen that the child is missing the classes and and I want the parents to be highly alert to see what is happening. Okay, there are very many students who are self-learners too. Okay, but other than that, there are some who need a little bit of a push. So what I request parents to be our partners till the actual school starts, because we are, there is all possibility of schools reopening in September, as is being told by some sources. But whenever it reopens, then the time that the child is in the school, we will take complete responsibility. We will ensure that the child learns. Okay, but right now, we request you all to be our partners in educating the child and for child's development. Okay, dear parents, now I would request Mr. Rajiv Kumar sir to take on. He will be talking about the importance of homeschool collaboration for the development of the child. Over to you, RK sir.
Thank you, Lalitha ma'am.
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. The wonderful students, supportive parents, our visionary chairman sir, our CEO, and the teachers and everyone else. I would like to talk for about, say, 7 to 8 minutes, and I'll be covering something which has not been covered. You have been given the technical information about your curriculum, about your approach, about the entire plan CBSE has, and your attitude towards examination and how you do it, all that. I'll be covering something which is based on the relationship which you have within the family. How you prepare yourself within your own house, how the values which you have in your family rub you off, and then you surge ahead and you achieve your goals. All that I'll be talking to you for about 7 minutes, because the attention span of adolescence is about 8 to 9 minutes. So I'll talk about that. Firstly, let me start with something which is very important for everyone to understand. You, the students and the parents, there is a very, very strong bond between the parents and the children, very strong bond. Now, that bond actually gives direction to the life of the children. That bond, how strong is that bond, and how involuntarily and in their subconscious, the children are learning from their parents. They look at them, they trust them, they appreciate their belief in them, and that's the way they start surging ahead in life. Let me, give a quick story about the bond which helps to prepare the students, the children in their life. How strong is the bond between the parent and the child? There was a kingdom, and the king of the kingdom actually announced that whomsoever would bring the most beautiful baby child to me, I'll reward him or her with something which you can't even imagine. So the whole kingdom, everyone started running around to look for the most beautiful, most lovely child. They kept on running around. They couldn't find one. One lady, after searching, going through the entire kingdom, came back to her house in the evening, late evening, and she could find her own child, playing in the mud and dirty, because no one was there to look after the child. And when she looked at the child, she said that, oh my God, this is the most beautiful child. This is the most lovely baby. So what I'm trying to communicate is, there is a hero, there is someone sitting inside the child, and only a parent can see that. The belief of the parent actually drives the child. Couple of years ago, I have read a news in the Times of India that there is a boy whose father was a truck driver. He cracked IIT. Now, my point is how this could happen. So my first point is, when we prepare our children at home, the home support which we provide, the first point, we always think that what resources we are giving to our children to prepare them, to empower them with the study plan, and we offer them study material, we offer them the kind of ambience, the comfort, a secluded place of where they can sit and they can study. So my point is, are we giving them that drive to succeed? Are we trusting them to the limit wherein they start believing and sharing your dreams with them? Are we sitting with them and sharing something which they really want to learn from you? So dear parents, our first point which we can, create in our children sitting at home is to, offer them that drive, give them that drive, trust them, build a very strong belief, and try to, understand their dreams. Apart from that, you offer them the resources, the study material, a good school, good teachers. All these things are manageable. You can find the best school, you can put them there. You can find the best teaching and learning material, study material, best table, best chair, air-conditioned room, good ambience. But the computer and everything, but then are you giving them that drive? I read again during this lockdown, one a very poor fellow, he was having 2 cows and he sold 1 cow to buy a mobile phone for his child who wanted to attend the online classes, because it was difficult for him. He was not having the mobile, the smartphone, so he bought that. So my point is, this is called the home support. This is called the drive which you generate in the child. You offer them whatever you want to offer, like it depends on your capacity. But are you building that capacity in your child to surge ahead, to meet the stress which the system around us, the competition, the peer pressure, all that develops in your child? Are you trying to, create that capacity in your child? That's number one. Number two is, we are going through a very, very bad, challenging times. I'm not just talking about the pandemic, which we are going through. I'm talking about the kind of competition, the kind of pressures, the kind of, a kind of revolution which is happening in the world. Everything is, surfacing in a very, very challenging way, and our children, they're exposed to everything. Access to information, access to all kinds of, information is very simple these days. So most of the time, this openness is developing huge stress in our children and they lose their focus. So are we trying to do something, sit with them, talk to them, and trying to, ease them out, doing something so that the stress comes down? We are trying to, the kind of anxiety they are going through, we are trying to, slow down that anxiety and trying to help our children to look at the future with confidence and with total energy and focus. So stress management is very important. You do whatever, but that connect will develop the real, breakthroughs, and the things would be really different. Apart from that, there are a few things which are very important from the back home. Normally what happens, we have A to Z kind of students. A is very bright, B is not that bright, C is having other issues, but every child is unique. So as a parent, from the home front, are you recognizing that uniqueness of your child? Are you trying to, support the child with that uniqueness? Some of the children, they learn quickly. Some of the children, they take time to learn. Some are not really focused on academics and they want to do something else. My point is, class 10 is the threshold to step into the world of opportunities. That's the first step into the future. So are we trying to understand them? Are we trying to make them understand that this is the first step, so you have to be careful? But at the same time, we're not trying to ignore their uniqueness. We have to align their unique character with something which we are looking at, the grade 10 examination preparation and all. So their uniqueness has to be considered, has to be recognized, and accordingly we can bridge that with something which is the right approach to prepare for the examination. We have to understand their qualities. We have to understand their potential. We have to show them the way, prepare the roadmap, the action plan, the study plan, so that they can walk on that road, and with their uniqueness, plus your input, your empowerment which you give them, your understanding, they'll walk on that road and achieve their targets. The uniqueness has to be understood. Next point, which is very important, is please, as a parent, if you really want to support them, really want to perform, want them to perform in the future or do good in the examination, please do not compare. Comparison between peers would kill the spirit in them. So it's very, very important to, recognize their potential and drive them through the potential they have. Apart from that, there are a few things which are very important. How we are, developing or inculcating the culture of looking after their health. Are they eating right? Are they eating something which is nutritious? Are they taking care of their lifestyle? Are they following a very, very healthy pattern of life? Are they keeping themselves fully hydrated, having enough, water when they sit for, for hours together, and what breaks they are giving themselves while studying? Because it's very important. It's very important for these children to take short breaks to energize, to recharge. And if you analyze it psychologically, then also it is very important for the learner of this age to take breaks, to assimilate, to absorb, and then move forward. Sitting for hours together, if you force them to sit for hours together, means 2 hours they're sitting and not moving, that will also kill, the spirit of learning. They will mug up the whole thing, but it will impact their health, especially their mental health would be impacted. One fine evening, I was out in the downtown, and I could see a few students walking back home, and at around 7 o'clock also they were putting on the uniform. And when I started, I got curious, of course, to see the students going back home at 6 o'clock evening time, and their faces were sullen and they were looking down and stressed. Later, I came to know that most of them from the school, which starts in the morning and ends in the evening, and there is hardly any scope of any other activities, no breaks, only focus on the academics. My point is, academics important, preparation for examination important, but we should not ever, for a school like Rockwood, for the students like we get in our school, we have to inculcate, or we have to develop the thinking in our parents and students and everyone, that there is life beyond examination. There is life beyond something which we are targeting. We, in the process of preparing for the examination, we should not forget life. We should not forget something which is the essence of life: the pleasantness, the health, the positive thinking. The parents actually somehow, in their children, they inculcate unknowingly certain qualities. I remember my father was in the Indian Army. He hardly used to get time to monitor my studies. He could hardly sit with me when I was preparing for class 10th examination. I did my exams without him. I couldn't even see him. My 12th also I did like that. But then there was a drive in me which guided me. He always, whenever he used to visit me and whenever I used to see him at work, I could see that focus in him. I could see he was a civil engineer in the Corps of Engineers. He always did things with that kind of perfection and focus. So that focus, unknowingly, I could, bring into my character, and independently I learned. These days, we try to inculcate in our children, the quality of independent learning. In this phase of online teaching and learning, we are trying to stress on the fact, we are trying to convince our parents that this is the phase when we have to somehow create that culture of independent learning in our students, because virtually we cannot remain connected with them for 6 to 8 hours. But if we connect with them for 2 hours or whatever, 90 minutes virtually on screen, the rest of the time they should invest independently doing things which we are trying to pass to them, we are trying to give them, so that they start taking initiative to learn from their own initiative, from their own independent, initiatives. So my point is, home support is very important. Parents, contribution is something which cannot be debated. We cannot debate on that. It has to be there. But then there is something which we call the culture of the family, the relationship between the parents and the children, which is very important. Because of that culture, because of that connect, and because of that drive, a child or son of an auto driver or a lorry driver cracks IIT. Because of that, only a man who buys a smartphone for his child by selling his cow. My point is, this is the strong connect, and this connect has to be there. So home support to prepare for the examination is very important. It is not technically, I cannot explain it technically. Technically means you offer a good space for them, a good roadmap, sit with them, see that they are following the roadmap, good food they are eating, good timetable they are following, lifestyle is good, no excess use of mobile phone or all that. That's all fine. But what about the emotional connect? Emotionally, if you get connected with your child will move the mountains. I'm telling you, will move the mountains, because emotionally you can easily move the most difficult child. That's what I wanted to speak about. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful year ahead. God bless you all. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to talk about this. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, RK sir. Thank you much. It was indeed a very nice talk by you. I'm sure the students and parents have gained a lot from this. I would now request our chairman to address all of us and encourage the students. Over to you, Chairman sir.
Thank you very much, Lalitha ma'am. Thank you all the teachers, our CEO Subbi, RK, and our headmistress Diana. And special thanks to our parents for being patient enough last 1 hour 10 minutes. I will not take much time. I would like to close my discussion within 3 minutes. Okay. See, we have listened to all our people, how important grade 10 is or grade 9 is. I'll talk about how important it is for a parent and for a student to spend quality amount of time with them, in addition to your own responsibilities of taking care of your business or your job, your household chores. Many of us are too busy in our lives, are being too busy in our lives. While having a lunch, we'll be speaking over the phone. While having morning walk, also we'll be like spending maximum amount of time with your business partners or colleagues or employees. I would like to encourage and request all the parents, find some amount of time for your children, find an activity which would help you to work together. I'll tell you 2 to 3 activities which I have been practicing at my home. As soon as my children wake up, the first thing, I got 3 kids. One is studying LKG, other one is studying grade 1. One more child is studying grade 5. My kids, as soon as they wake up, they just brush their teeth and drink some warm water. Then comes to me and asks the first thing, is it now meditation time, or is it a phonetics time, or is it a yoga time? Right? These 3 questions, in fact, instigate me and make me more responsible to participate and practice these 3 things along with them every day. Even I'm busy or even I'm not feeling really well, at least since I got a team of 4 members who is trying to work as my accountability partners, not to miss these 3 activities. With this, I'm trying to build a little emotional relationship with my children as my peers. Believe me, some of the activities, some of the yoga exercise, they are doing better than me. Even I learn. My younger daughter, who is LKG daughter, when I say phonetic sound thank you, her thank you pronunciation is far better than my thank you pronunciation, or my son thank you, or my daughter thank you. In fact, I ask remaining all to just look at her tongue movement or lip movement, just imitate it. So what I would like to tell all my parents, maybe you parents may have different way of handling their own time. I am not finding any specific way to do this. I learned this from my mother, who is illiterate. We have been grown up in a farming family. What my mother used to do, she used to involve myself and my sister and my brother in her household chores, whether it is working on vegetable farm or working on minimum household chores, or evening just spending quality amount of time to do the calculation of your labor, right? So what I request the parents, involve your children in your day-to-day household chores or your business activities at least 10 to 15 minutes of time. That is first step you can take it. Second boundary you can set to yourself, having a lunch or dinner or breakfast together by sitting on the single table or on the floor, all of you turning off the TV and keeping your mobile away from you, at least 10 feet away from you for at least 10-15 minutes. So they themselves start teaching you how you need to be attentive. That way they'll start learning how they can be attentive in their activities of listening to their teacher or listening to their classes. So we are standing like a role model to our students. Instead of keep saying, please study, please study. Today I had a discussion with one of the parents. The child is so intelligent that after the class, she is going to any website without even the help of anyone and trying to understand, learn, just watch the videos and this. He requested our techies and Siva Subbi and our other people stop somehow accessing the YouTube from her site, from her phone. They tried to stop it. They stopped for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, she called again, ma'am, now I can access YouTube without disturbing these settings, right? Our children are more innovative, interactive, and you believe them and spend quality amount of time. Create habits. To create a habit, you need to stand like a role model. The first thing. The second important habit you can create in your children. All of you try to spend evening also quality amount of time with you, 5 to 7 o'clock. If you are working person or you are a business person, try to finish your dinner by 6:30 so that you can spend little time with your children in doing the household chores or watching the TV or reading some book or playing with them or dancing with them. So that's 7:30. 9 o'clock you can sleep, and morning again after 8 hours of rest they'll wake up by 5 o'clock. Since all of you are having grown-up children, that is 13 years to 14 years children, you involve them in your life. Believe my words, they would be performing any task of yours better than you, right? This is the greatest learning from my life. I learned many things from my mother. That's how I have been practicing throughout my life. Even today, during this pandemic time, we never lost hope on the future, or we never lost hope on the present education system. If you take our last 5 years of a journey, we did not slip any date, whether announcement of results, last year results on March 28th, or starting of academic year on March 30th, or conducting of PT1 on April 23rd and 24th, a reopening of the school on June 1st, conducting PT towards slip test. We did not slip anything. This resilience I learned from my mother. I encourage all the parents, trust your children. Be happy with your children. Try to find some kind of skill in them and appreciate that, so that we'll have peaceful and happy life, and you will find abundance among your family members. Okay, with this I'll close. Hand over to Lalitha ma'am. Thank you all.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. It was indeed a very nice, talk by you. And parents and students, there's a lot of takeaways we have from this whole meeting. And if there are any questions, I would like you all to ask any one of us. Any questions from either students or parents?
Students, you can try to type your questions in chat box or
in the chat.
Unmute yourself and speak about it. Subbi sir will coordinate. We really happy to help you about what exactly your questions are.
Ma'am, I think this question was asked by a couple of children before. I just wanted to bring it up.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Some children are some parents, or some of us even, are thinking this academic year also going to be like, where government will come back and tell you no exams at all, and they will hand over very nice certificate back to me. What is the need of, attending the classes?
So there is no way. CBSE has already announced that this year is definitely not a 0 year. This year examinations will be conducted. Mode of examinations also, because now more or less, although the number of COVID cases are increasing, more or less everything except the schools, more or less every other organization has come back to normalcy. Okay, so it is functioning as usual. So there is no way children or parents, you can ever hope that this will be a 0 year. No. And children will not be certified just like that. Right? Even last CBSE exam, the exams were completed. It was only about 6 papers of grade 12 which were left out. And so far as 10th is concerned, it was only the optional of computers which was left out. But otherwise, everything, even this time, was done as per the rules. Okay, so there is no way you can ever think or dream of this.
Thank you, ma'am. The second question, I can read, 10th class children mind very well. So let me put it forward, second question as well. Some of the children have a notion or a thinking of, right? The board exam is somewhere in the month of March, right? And
Yes.
why I need to work all the way from March or from June,
Yeah.
or from now even for that matter. Can I not prepare very well from the month of maybe January or February and then perform very well in the exams? Why do I need to attend the classes and listen to every teacher, write every note, and perform well internals, perform well in summative term ones and all that? Can I not prepare very hard and very well from January month onwards, where I will spend really 15 to 16 hours every day? Can I do that?
Children, I must tell you this, that it is just like you're starving yourself for a week, and then you say, okay, that week's quota of food I'm going to eat on one day or one meal. It's simply not possible. Your brain also has an absorption level. So education, the entire process, in this morning when I had my 9th and 10th classes, I was telling them the children don't learn only for examination, although this session is for examination, I was telling them that it is not just the examinations which matter. Learn for gaining knowledge. Learn for applying your knowledge. Learn because this is going to help you in life. And so that is one component of it. But other than that, children, I must tell you, and I have been repeatedly telling you this, that the course content of CBSE is set. And CBSE pattern of examination is also set. So if you say that, okay, I am going to write something, and CBSE does not believe in pages and pages of writing because they never, I am a head examiner, an evaluator. I have myself corrected me. There is a key given for every answer. And every evaluator has to stick to the key. So if you are going to write something, maybe 4 pages on something, you will get a 0, okay, plain 0, because unless and until you have the key points in your answer, there is no way you are going to get marks at all. Okay, so this is something that please keep it in mind. See, you cannot bluff in your exams. You cannot, there is no shortcut to your examinations. Okay, so it is a consistent process. And I have been repeatedly telling you all, have a home study timetable. Whether you are given a homework or not given a homework, you allocate half an hour for each subject. For mathematics and physical sciences, allocate 1 hour. Because in physics, you have got numericals, which is, again, I'll tell you where the tough points for children are, So you will find that you lose marks. Children, just mere passing is not going to help you. You need to work on your quality of result. Okay, so if there is 100 and CBSE gives 100 out of 100, children, believe me, even in languages, in English, Hindi, Telugu, in social studies, and in science, other math, of course, you can get it. All these subjects also, you can get a center. Okay, so the student who has secured, okay, 498 marks. So you can imagine the student has lost only 2 marks, right? So that is what you all should aim at. That is what the quality of your result, children, not just passing. Passing is not very important, It is only the last alternative. But your ability to get through flying colors is what it is. And for that, consistent effort is the methodologies, what we are going to do, how are we going to, how do we teach in the class? Everything has been listed out so that your parents also get to know what it's all about. So, dear children and parents, my sincere request to all of you is work hard. There is no substitute for hard work. And wishing all of you a wonderful year ahead. My thanks to Chairman.
Ma'am, one last
CEO,
question, ma'am.
Subi,
One
sir.
last question. Yeah.
Sir,
Last question.
Sir,
This
sir.
is from a parent or a student. I think this kind of similar question has come from the same parent before also. Can you conduct exam, model board exam pattern every week, maybe on Sunday? Is that something possible?
Sir, this is something, that's a very good point you have asked, because we will be completing our syllabus by end of November. Okay, post which we will conduct sample model papers, pre-board examinations. We will be conducting 3 of them. But for students who want more, we can give. We will be, there are times when I have given even 10 sample papers to students. And unless, my aim always has been that every student should achieve 70%. Okay, so we go on giving the papers to the students to solve so that they come to that level. Practice makes a man perfect, and we will give sufficient practice for the students. Right now, let us concentrate on the small morsels. That is, small portions, whatever we are completing, the slip tests, the periodic assessments, work on these, and you will start getting the big chunks of learning through sample papers on a weekly basis too. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I think that would be all
Yes.
from Q&A side.
Thank you very much, all parents, teachers, and also Lalitha ma'am, RK sir, Diana ma'am, Sudhi sir. We will be in touch. At least we'll have once in a month these kind of meetings, and we'll try to build the emotional relationship between parents and teachers and students and the captains of the ship. Fine.
Thank you, sir.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, students. Thank you, parents. God bless all of you. And students, I am looking forward to more seriousness, and I'm looking forward more than anything else to see your faces whenever I enter your classes. Thank you very much. And have a wonderful Ganesh Chaturthi and wonderful year ahead to all of you, and a nice weekend too. Thank you, sir.
Advance wish you happy Ganesh Chaturthi to all the parents. Tomorrow we'll be sending a wishes again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye all.
Thank you, sir.